Hello YouTube, this is Bamboozling Bit, solving a problem one bit at a time. Today I will share a bit of knowledge, so we'll go over a Data Lemur problem, namely unfinished parts. There will be a link to the problem in the video description below. Okay, so here you go with the question prompt. It has been updated effectively since April 11th, 2023. And it goes as follows. Tesla is investigating production bottlenecks and they need your help to extract the relevant data. Write a query to determine which parts have begun assembly process but are not yet finished. Assumptions. Parts assembly table contains all parts currently in production, each at varying stages of the assembly process. An unfinished part is one that lacks a finish date. So you can assume right now that finish date could be null, it could be an empty string, but you know that if you have actually a date type, you cannot have an empty string. So you're probably going to have the null value. So here you have the question prompt continued. You see that assembly parts that have begun production but are not finished have effectively not a single value, which means we're going to work with null, okay? Okay, so now we go with is null. As you can see, I just use is null after where. I mean, I don't capitalize where in this one, just so you can see that sometimes you can get away with not capitalizing, but usually you should capitalize, okay? Now, solution 2 is not distinct from. It is acceptable. It works quite well. Believe me, I used it. And the thing is that if you use is not distinct from, you know that you are comparing two values. You're specifically saying that value A is not distinct from value B. And we'll see more of it in the next slide. So it's not distinct from. The idea is that the predicate is not distinct from compares the equality of two expressions and guarantees a true or false result, even if one or both operands are null. Is not null is a predicate used in the search condition of where clauses and having clauses. So here below you can see something that is pretty useful, which is a truth table, okay? And what you can see is how the operator, the clause is acting as an operator, and you see that when both have the same value, is not distinct from is going to be true, okay? That's all that you have to notice in this case. Now we go with the case filter. Just know that after a where clause, you always need Boolean values such as true or false, right? I mean, that's why the first solution that I use, which I consider the best solution that uses the case filter, is this one, because you save yourself from the hassle of having to set the rows that you want to return equal to a particular value that we have on the right hand side of the equality statement, okay? So for instance, if the right hand value is 0, then in your case filter, the rows you want returned should have 0 after the then statement, okay? For instance, here I could say that bamboozling bit is the value I want after the rows that I want to have returned. Why? Because on the right hand side, I have bamboozling bit as the value, okay? Okay, solution 4, coalesce. Just know that coalesce returns the first non-null value in a list of inputs, okay? If all values in a list are null, it will return null. So you might want to add a default value that is compatible with the rest. Why? Because all the columns that are inputs for coalesce need to have compatible types or the same data type in order for it to work. Otherwise you get an error, okay? For instance, I added a particular date that I want to have returned if finish date is null, okay? And if it is null, it will return this date and it will be equal to the right hand side, and it will return that row that has a null value, so it works. That's it for the video. Keep solving problems one bit at a time.